You want to do a Ouija board?
Yes. And then we can watch Ouija.
That movie, Ouija. You know what else Ouija is?
What?
Luigi from Mario.
Well, that's what Ouija is.
Yeah, people call him Ouija sometimes because it's funny.
Ah.
It's Ouija. Plus,
It's
in the
Ouija.
yeah, in the silly accent they do for those characters, sometimes he says Ouija. I'm Ouija. Welcome once again to Noah Snark. We're two former snarks. Nope. We're two former religious types and current
Do the whole
snarks.
thing over.
Oh, come on. Welcome once again to Noah Snark. We're two former religious types and current snarks. Take a look at religious media on its own terms.
I am Hillary.
And I am Josh, aka Save Me from This Album.
Wish I could, buddy. Wish I could.
Now, I might have already given it away, but there is some stuff we have to preface with. Because this episode was supposed to be about the Bible Man board game.
Yes.
And that board game has given me a fucking saga to explain. Okay? It was ridiculous. So here's what happened.
Okay.
I got it off eBay. Very cheap. $13 plus shipping. I was like, I'll pay that. That's fine. I sent in my address. I didn't want to get an eBay account, so I did it as a guest account. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
I put my address in. I try to do it like mail proper. You know, like how on your license it may be a little different from how you would actually tell a person what your address is.
Right.
Right. Because like mine, they shorten one of the words and add a direction. It's like, I'm never going to tell people the direction of the street I'm on. That's stupid. Oh yeah, make sure it's southeast. It's fine. So I do all that.
There is another same
Yeah.
road, but northeast.
Yeah, but even then, the numbers should get you there. Like, they're the postal service. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, I did all that, and it's because eBay was being weird, so I was like, whatever, I'll just do what you want. And it's been 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to get it the 11th of March. Today is the, 26th?
26th, I think, yeah. 27th.
27th. So it's 2.5 weeks late.
Oh my god.
But I was supposed to have it, and then I was waiting around, and the tracking had originally said, like, the 19th is the latest possible date, so I was going to wait until the 19th. Finally, around the 19th, I started really checking in on it, except eBay, because I was a guest account, had taken the tracking number off of the order. So I couldn't even find it if I wanted to.
Did you get it? You got an email confirmation though, right?
Yeah, but they didn't have the tracking number in it. It had a link to the order
Oh my god.
that I could then follow to get the tracking number. That's how I did the first time.
Yeah.
And I found out it was just stuck in the postal service. I was like, alright, fine. Like, they'll get it to me eventually, right?
Uh-huh.
No.
No.
So a few days ago, finally contacted the seller and was like, look, I know you sent it because I did see that they had sent it. It's not like they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't gotten it yet. I don't need you to do anything necessarily. Just, do you have the tracking number so I can track it? And then they sent it to me. It was fine. The next day we find out that they had returned it to sender.
Shut up!
So now it's back in Alabama.
So was this USPS or was this
Yeah,
FedEx?
this is USPS.
Or, okay, awesome.
So it's back in Alabama where they sent it from. And we're finally getting it again. I haven't sent it back. What happened was, somehow, and I don't believe this is me, because I know the numbers, the zip code was wrong. They're sending it to a completely different zip code from mine. Just a random number. And it was not like close and I missed it.
Right.
It's like,
completely separate.
yeah, except for the first, you know, zip codes are 5 digits. Except for
You can check and see what you wrote because it'll be in your email.
That's a good point. I'm going to do that. So that's what happened. And I'm paying the shipping costs again because it's only fair.
Yeah.
But, god damn it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I should finally have it
saga.
later this week. Yeah, it's a whole thing, and I was very annoyed. So we will be putting off Bible Man, the board game, until, let's say, 2 weeks from today.
Some exciting time in our future.
For the audience. I don't know when we're going to do it, but we'll
Right.
do it.
Soonish.
Soonish. Yeah, so that's that whole story. Do we have any hits and misses we want to talk about for any previous episode before we begin this one?
I don't think so. I'm going to check and make sure. Maybe I made it. Sometimes I make notes in here while I'm editing, but I don't think I did this time.
I'm still sticking with everything we do is perfect and wonderful. Even getting that stupid board game sent to me, I did right. No one else did right. Okay, the person who sent it to me did right. The Postal Service fucked up. And I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, the USPS is so useless. No, they've always been pretty reliable as far as I can tell. Like, I get that they're not always motivated to get you your shit the way that you want.
Right.
It is always been a perfectly acceptable service to me. Just this time, someone, somewhere, dropped the ball. And it could have been me. Maybe I did type in 4 random digits rather than anything resembling what I was going for.
It does just seem like lately it's just everything's going wrong in small ways.
Yeah.
Nothing major, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But did I tell you about my brother's car?
No.
My brother's car got totaled in our driveway.
How?
We don't know. Nobody left any kind of note or anything. It had to have happened after I left for work one morning, but definitely early in the morning. Somebody pulled into our driveway, hit my brother's car so hard that it ended up it would have cost more to fix it than the car was worth, which is what totaling means. Mm-hmm. Well done, Hillary.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Left no sign, no...
What the hell?
Note, and yeah. I played detective for about 2 weeks. And then there was a day where I was taking Doodle out to pee, and our next door neighbor pulls in, and I noticed that she has a big old dent at the front of her bumper. Mm-hmm. And then she never talks to me. We never ever talk. She comes out, she's like, oh my god, I heard what happened to your brother's car. I'm like, is this really happening? And she's like, yeah, pretty rough. She's like, do you even know who did it? Like, it was like she was a cartoon. Like, this is like a TV show. And I'm like, no, we don't. We're gonna have to... What
you're supposed to do is look right at her and say, we're getting an idea.
I'm like, we do now. No, but I was like, no, but we had to, like, I just laid guilt on. I'm like, we had to total it. He doesn't have a car. He's probably not going to have a car for a while because of it, unless somebody comes forward, owns up to it. Anyway, so I immediately called my dad and told him the story. He's like, I think he did it. I think he solved the mystery. I'm like, I think so too. My mom, next time she pulled in, she still had the dent up there. My dad's like, well, her husband drives like a maniac, so it wouldn't surprise me. He comes whipping around corners and stuff. So that's the big drama in our neighborhood.
That's fun. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's skip that part and talk about what we are doing today. So, Hillary, tell us.
We're doing an album, Josh.
Yeah, what album?
It's called Save Me From Myself, and it's by a man who calls himself Head.
What does everybody want?
Head.
What does everybody need?
This album.
That is a professional wrestling joke from the 90s.
Okay.
There was a man named Al Snow. He carried around a severed mannequin head. And it was his best friend. He played an insane person who talked to it.
Gotcha.
And his theme song was literally, what does everybody want? Head. What does everybody need? Head. What does everybody love? And he'd carry around his head and he'd like hit people with it and stuff. It was... The 90s were a strange time.
I know, I miss them.
Sorry, so that's what I was doing. Yes, this is an album called From Head. Did we say what it was called?
Yep.
Save Me From Myself?
Correct.
Okay. Head, if you're not familiar with him, his name is Brian Welch, and he is the current and, at this time, former lead singer of Korn. At the time of this album.
I thought he was just a guitarist.
No, I think he was the lead singer. No. Maybe he was a guitarist too?
No, Jonathan Davis is lead vocals.
Oh, you're right. I knew that.
He did Brian Head Welsh did backing vocals, but he was lead guitarist.
Ah, okay. But yes, sorry, I was wrong. He was the lead guitarist of Korn, backing vocalist. Then he left for this, and some other stuff, for his own.
He wrote a book.
He wrote, I think, like 2 or 3 books.
Yep, 2 that I know of.
Yeah, and now he's back with Korn, because I guess they've made some peace.
Gotcha.
Cool. So, Save Me From Myself, the album from
2008.
Head Welch.
Head Welch.
Is it Welsh or Welch?
I think it's Welch.
Okay.
But I keep saying Welsh.
Okay, just checking.
And I will continue to, just as a warning.
See if you can describe this in 1 sentence.
I struggled with this because everything's just so on the nose.
Yes.
Just like Korn, but about Jesus. Because it doesn't sound anything different than Korn. He has not distinguished himself as a distinct voice in nu metal.
Right.
He's just doing the exact same thing he did with Korn, but with a lot more spirituality.
With some religious overtones.
Right.
Yeah, so my 1 sentence, and I didn't write this down, I'm just making it up right now.
Yeah.
There was a reason I didn't like Korn before.
Correct.
And it turns out if you add Jesus, it doesn't change it.
Nope. Not into it. Not into it at all.
That's the best I can do right now.
There were other bands from the 90s that were kind of nu-metalish that I prefer over this.
Yeah, I'm a System of a Down fan.
I was about to say System of a Down.
I don't know if they're counted as nu metal, but if it does, it's fucking...
No, I put them in the same category as these guys. I'm terrible with genres, honestly.
Yeah.
There's just so many subgenres.
And genres are always mixed in anyway, so
right.
It's like, no one is one thing.
They were out around the same time. They put out similar kinds of music, as in, like, sound-wise, loud, angry white boys. Mm-hmm. The music.
But if there was a System of a Down concert in Atlanta...
I'd go to it right now.
I'd go to it right now, right this second.
Yeah.
So,
just to note, if you did that without me, I'd be so mad at you. If you found out that they were coming to Atlanta, went, and then told me here on a podcast that you went and did not even tell me about it, I'd be so pissed. And I'm not like, it's not like I'm a diehard fan. Just like, I think they put on a great show and I fucking love their music.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Rage Against the Machine, so much better than this.
Yeah, so we're not opposed to the genre or anything.
No.
It's just, I never really liked Korn very much. I've liked a few songs I've heard. I've never felt the need to buy an album.
No, definitely not.
Or listen to more than radio singles.
Right.
And
my knowledge of Korn is the one song that you mentioned last week when we were talking about it.
Yeah, Got the Life.
No,
or Freak on a Leash.
Freak on a Leash. I knew that song.
Yeah.
But then all I know of Korn is that the gothy kids at my high school used whiteout to paint Korn on their backpacks.
Yep.
It was like Korn, 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson. They all had the exact same patches and the exact same, whiteout scrawlings.
Yep. Yeah, that's about right.
And I'd listen to 9 Inch Nails or Marilyn Manson over Korn, too.
Absolutely. Okay. And
apparently Marilyn Manson has an autobiography that's insane, and I have to read it. My boss was telling me about it.
Okay, and so occasionally the audience might hear a couple click and clacks. Yeah. It's because as we go, I'm going to play the samples from Amazon that they put for every song to remind us what we're doing. Because it's not a spoiler to say that if you asked me to tell you what each of these songs was,
right,
I couldn't distinguish them.
Especially since we listened to it on YouTube, and it was just one
that's true.
video.
I listened to it.
And it didn't tell you what the songs were. I kept having to sound hound to find out where I was on the album, because they also do blend together as one long song. Yeah,
I listened to it on Amazon Music, because it is streaming right now, which helped me sort of distinguish it.
Gotcha.
But honestly, couldn't do it. Could not do it if you
Is that something you can only do with Prime?
It's free on Prime. You could stream it otherwise.
Okay.
And it's probably on Spotify. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
It probably is on Spotify, except for I don't pay for a Spotify Premium anymore, so I want to be able to listen to it in order.
Yeah, you would.
Not in my car.
Not in your car, right.
Yeah, at home, you're right, I would have.
Right. Okay. But yeah, so that's it. So if you hear clicking, it's just me playing the next sample.
Clicketing, clacketing.
Clicketing, clacking. I'm trying to be real careful.
Well, you can't. Hell of it.
So let's just start from the beginning. There's 11 songs. 11. I said 11.
11 songs.
We got 11 songs on the album. So let's do number 1. Alright, so let's talk about Love.
Yeah. Actually, I have a headache and headbang.
You remember this, obviously.
Sure.
So
I initially started reading the lyrics while I was listening to all the songs, but then I got bored of that.
Yeah, no. Love or love. I don't know. Let's just call it love.
Love is fine.
But it is dotted out, so it's
supposed. What's it supposed to mean, do you think?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Only
very excellent.
Volunteers energy.
I'm going to go with Lord only very excellent.
Okay.
He's, no.
Love Angel Music, baby.
He's now been translated from Chinese. It meant something else, but it's just translated, so it's love only, no, gotcha. Lord only, very excellent. Okay, sorry. So, what do you have to say? Do you have anything to say? Do you remember anything about this enough to distinguish?
No, there's a few songs that do stand out to me as at least a little more tolerable or interesting. This is not one of them. This is not a strong start to me.
Right. As we just heard, I gave you everything, which presumably is about Jesus.
He's talking about, I think it's from the point of view of Jesus.
Oh, okay. So that's something. And then, I don't know, is there anything, should we be looking up lyrics too so I can
That's not a bad idea.
Because unlike most of the albums we've done, because it's so hard for us to distinguish what is happening and the sort of constant grind of nu metal in the background at all times and sometimes the foreground.
Don't type in head love into your Google search engine, kids.
Yeah, that was a mistake on your part.
My bad.
It's difficult to know what's going on unless you are looking at lyrics because you don't really get different noises in your ear holes. Because we've done Lecrae. That album had stuff to say, and you could distinguish each song.
Right.
Like, could I do it now from memory because it's been like a year? No. But if I heard it again, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this. I listened to this album 3 times yesterday in a row, just straight through. And I cannot tell you the difference between any one of the songs.
No, and also sometimes he's very articulate, and you can tell what he's saying, but most of the time, I cannot understand a single word coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's grindy.
Right. It's more about double bass than the...
So tell me what he's talking about for LOVE.
Alright. Okay, so it starts, I gave you everything, all the pain life brings, just to get you to come back to me. I want to give you light. I don't want to ever fight. Stop resisting and come home to me. You're so afraid of love. There's not much time. All the pain inside just makes you want to die. So basically, this is God saying, hey, I gave you all that pain. Come with me. Why aren't you worshiping me?
You are made ill. Please be better.
I made you sick so that you have to come back to me. I think that's called Munchausen.
Yeah, I mean, one could argue...
By proxy, but yeah.
I mean, one could argue that maybe we'll find a theme in here that this Brian head has... I'm going to keep making random combinations of his 3 names so it'll make me laugh.
This album by Oral Sex.
This album by Brian Head may be a very honest look at religion rather than the sort of filtered Jesus is super great all the time.
I think
that we get from normal, like, Christian rock.
We have a song coming up that covers, like, his like, feelings about organized religion in general, so...
That's true.
I think
so we'll see
hook is love me, don't hate me, you're angry, it's okay, trust me, come this way, live in eternity.
That's not...
No.
It's not bad.
No.
But that's
love. But it does sound bad.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I mean, we played you that little clip because... Yeah, no. It's not...
Again,
for me.
Don't hate the genre.
Yeah,
just don't like this.
Just don't like this. It's too... It's honestly, it's so samey. Like, I'm about to play Flesh
Say
right
zany?
now. Samey.
Samey, okay. Like, I don't know if I call it zany.
Because I'm going to move on to Flesh right now. That's the second song.
Okay.
And I'm going to play it. And you tell me, Hillary and audience, if you can distinguish.
I can understand these.
But you see, like, the difference for me from Love and this song is, one, you said you could understand it better. I still couldn't. But let's say that, and it's more words, so it's easier to distinguish, like, oh, he's singing on this one, this must be different. But when he's not singing, I could not tell you what's different.
I don't feel like I can speak to musicality, because I'm not a musician, and I have a hard time. All I know is that in my ears, this sounds like the exact same instrumentals.
That's what I mean.
With slightly different, yeah.
I'm sure people who play guitar or are good at it or whatever, or are good at music generally, could tell you the difference.
Hear the individual instruments and be like, well, this one, and the tempo might be different. I don't know.
Neither of us are music people, so we're not the best qualified for this.
No.
But that's also an issue because this music wasn't made for musicians. One doesn't typically make a studio album for purchase. That's just for, well, you have to really understand music to be able to tell my songs apart.
That's true.
That sounds awful.
We'll just call him a musician's musician.
Right. And I'm sure they exist. There are people out there. But you typically
I have friends who are musicians, and they would be able to pinpoint exactly.
I'm absolutely positive.
They should be here, actually, right now.
Yeah, well, we do what we can.
We do. I actually do, like, lyrically, I like this song. This song is about his drug addiction.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of his...
This was the, like, single. Yes, Flesh.
This was a single, and also, apparently, there was a controversy with the music video. I watched the music video. Did you watch it? Yeah, because... And also, it's, like, kind of with his book, too, all of this. He's very open and very honest about his drug abuse and alcoholism and... Ladies and all of the sex, drug, and rock and roll. lifestyle that he was leading, which I like people who are honest to a fault in general, so I appreciate that about him.
And it's not even really a fault, if you're being honest. Like, the worst part of his rock and roll... I don't believe
that there is a... Well, here's an honest to a fault. Honest to a fault is when you're cruel.
Yeah, when people mistake cruelty or honesty for cruelty or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't tell ugly people they're ugly unless they ask you, am I ugly?
Right.
Right.
Like, I'm just being honest, but like, no, you're being an asshole.
You're not wrong, you're just an asshole.
But what I wanted to say in his somewhat defense is the only reason that his sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle was particularly wrong is now because of his religion. And one could argue, like, if he was addicted and stuff, that's a problem. Like, don't do that.
It's wrong. It's not, I'm not morally against drugs.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, he definitely seemed like he was in a really bad way.
Right, and that is what
especially since one of his main drugs was methamphetamines, which will fucking murder you.
Yeah, don't do drugs, especially if you have an issue with it.
Right.
Or rather, don't do drugs if you have an issue with it. I don't really care otherwise.
Right.
There
are ways to do drugs responsibly.
Right. It's a point I said once before, like, there's this notion of drugs, and if you do them, then you're addicted, and that's not true.
No.
Like, you might get addicted.
Different people, different brain chemistry, different, physiology.
But I think I've said it, like, if you like heroin, so you take a weekend out of your month every month and you just do some heroin, you don't have a heroin problem. You just like heroin. That's fine.
Yeah.
Is it likely to be the result of you doing heroin? No.
In some drugs, you can die after one use. Mm-hmm. Heroin's one of those.
So I'm not saying go try it to find out.
No, but yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
you're not addicted if it's like every now and then.
Yeah, if it doesn't take over your life and it's not fucking things up and you don't ruin relationships and stuff over it,
right?
It's just a hobby. It's like playing video games. Like, can you get addicted to video games? Yes. Most people aren't.
Some people are.
But some people are.
Yeah.
And they need to peel back while the other people...
eat a cookie. Not me.
I'm that guy. I can eat one cookie.
I will eat a cookie and then think about cookies for the rest of the day.
Right.
And, quit my job, found in a gutter covered in powdered sugar. That's me.
I have donuts on my counter. Don't eat them.
I saw them. I'm not going to eat them.
They're quite good. Yeah, so that's my point.
Yeah.
Is really the biggest problem with his sort of brutal honesty, I think, is more that the people he's appealing to now don't like it.
Right.
Rather
they're very mixed reviews, and it's all just, none of it really is about the music itself.
Right, it's about the subject.
It's about whether, it's okay or not. Like, I read a long review of the book, and the guy, while he praised him for all these different things, he ultimately couldn't recommend the book because of how...
real?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
I get it.
And in the same breath, he's like, look, I really respect him for being honest about this and opening up, and it'll help some people. But, at the same time, this is really hardcore.
Yeah.
It's a lot for some sweet minds.
Right. I get it.
The lyrics that we just heard were, life is boring, same old story, get drunk, throw up, sleep all day. I am something, I'm not nothing, I can't let myself decay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because, unlike...
I can understand that.
And sort of unlike the point I was making, he feels like he was in a bad way. And he was addicted to meth and he was all fucked up, so that's different.
Yeah. If that's your life, it's literally like, get drunk, throw up, sleep all day. That's your whole life.
Yeah, you need help. He needed help.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I guess I was making a broader point about the concept of being, like, converting to Christianity, being like, well, I used to have sex with girls. And it's like, yeah, it's fine. Look, the only people who care are the people that you're with now. Like, no one cares.
It's just like everything to a small degree. Everything to a small degree.
Yeah.
What is it like?
You can have sex with girls. It's fine. You're going to be fine. Or boys. I don't.
Yeah.
Or non-anythings. I don't care.
Unless you made a promise to somebody that you're going to be exclusive to them.
Otherwise, fuck, man.
You're a rock star. Enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those things.
Yeah. But, some people take it to a degree where it's like they don't even enjoy the things anymore. They're doing them because they're addicted to them or because
and that's the bad part.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So I like this song. Lyrically, I like this song. I don't like listening to it. It still hurts my ear holes.
Right. All right, let's move on to Loyalty.
I don't remember Loyalty at all.
No one does. Although apparently, according to this Amazon sample thing I'm using, Loyalty is the second most popular song from this album.
Really?
Yep. It's got, they have these little, like, popularity trackers on the...
Yeah.
This one has an almost full one. It's pretty solid.
Interesting.
So this is the one people listen to. Let's hear it.
Okay. This is so boring.
Yeah, I was thinking that while we were doing it.
That was painful, listening to him try to eke out those lyrics.
We did about 6 seconds after, more than I normally do.
Yeah.
These are all 30 seconds, and I can't even usually bear it. But we did about 6 seconds extra, and I was just like, oh my god.
I'm like, say, what's the next word?
These last 6 seconds have been so long.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so boring.
Tell me what he's saying.
How is this one of the most popular ones?
Yeah, tell me what he's saying here.
It's actually the opening of the song. It's, let's make a hit. We'll be so rich and famous.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have it all. We'll be everyone's favorite. No way. I won't sell out for the money. Accepting money for work is not selling out for money.
We need to establish that right up.
This shit drives me crazy.
I love punk music. It's probably my favorite genre of music, period.
I love punk music as well.
It's a constant refrain. That as soon as you have, like, it's like a studio album, as soon as you make a studio, it's like, they sell it out. Be like, no, the fuck you did. You're just making money because you did all the work.
The artist you love is getting paid to make things for you.
Right.
They need to buy the food, man.
Like, hey, I get that it's cool.
They should have a life because they've chosen to make music. Like, I don't get it at all.
I get the appeal of the the struggling rock and roll lifestyle where you're just living show to show.
Right.
And you sleep in a van.
Right.
And you, like, have really dedicated fans, but there's about 25 of them.
Right.
Maybe our podcast is like that. But the point is, it would be nice for them and for you, for them to be able to make some money.
Right.
Because being successful doesn't necessarily mean anything changes.
Right.
And, like, when people change after they've met success, it doesn't necessarily mean because of it. It means now they have an opportunity to do something different. And they were going to change anyway.
Right. And it does, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, like, punk especially, it's like a lot of punk is about, like...
Issues, yeah.
It's about issues. It's about, you know, it's anti-establishment a lot of the time. It's about being held down by the man. It's about, you know, all of that. So it's like that's one of the genres that really gets hit hardest by the people hating when they make money. Yeah.
Or when they change it all, despite the fact that it's, I would argue, one of the most contemporary music stylings.
Well, the way I say it is, like, they're not writing these songs because they love being this way. They're writing this, it's like when you write music about having depression and being depressed or being addicted like this guy is.
Yeah.
You're not writing it and like, man, I hope I'm like this forever so I can keep writing about the same stuff. Like, you're trying to work through your feelings. It's cathartic. It's about, you know, like, expressing yourself in the moment. So, hopefully, through doing that, it's like therapy, and you'll get better, and then you can write music about the things that you're experiencing now and later in your life, which are not going to be the same things.
Right.
Hopefully. Because if you're in your, like, you know, if you're in your 50s and you've been writing punk music about the same shit for 40 years...
Right. That's kind of what I was trying to say when I was like, they're going to change, because almost no one writes the same music for 10 years.
Right.
So you're really just complaining that the natural thing that happened.
Right. I'd say it would be wicked pathetic.
Absolutely.
If they hadn't made changes to their life, and if they lied about being, you know, rock bottom still just to fit in.
Yeah.
That's super
Can
sad.
you imagine? Like, who wants to hear the same person talk about how depressed they are for 30 years? Like, I'm like, dude, you need therapy.
I know.
Like, I like the music.
Either Elliott Smith yourself or get better and then talk about that. Too far?
Too far.
Sorry.
Too much. But truly, like, please don't be sad in your 50s the same way you were in your 20s.
Yeah, don't
For your sake, not necessarily for mine.
Right.
Because I might still like the music, but I need you to be doing better in some way, at least different.
And also, I need honesty. So
yeah, and be honest.
Like,
if you're still sad, hey, write that music, but also get help.
It's the no fucks given that makes punk fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to say also, like, punk is very, I think, contemporary. Like, it is the most reactive to modern trends, modern reality.
Issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it, almost by definition, has to change over time because things change over time.
Right.
Punk music from Nixon is very different from punk music from Trump.
Right.
Even though they're not, you know, they're in similar sort of political turmoil times.
Yeah.
These are very different circumstances.
It's angry and it's loud.
Yeah, it's still angry and it's loud.
There will always be things to be angry and loud about.
It's just about different things. Now we write songs about drone strikes. You know? And that's fun.
It's great.
Yeah, but it wouldn't work in
more punk shows.
Yeah, I don't go to very many shows.
And like, as I said that out loud, I'm like, oh, that sounds exhausting.
I know, right? That's how you know we're getting old.
No.
Ooh, fun fact about
jumping around with teenagers.
I was just talking to a friend of mine. We were playing a game and it's sort of, we catch up sometimes. And I have also been playing Mortal Kombat, the newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Not the one that's like coming out, but the newest one.
Gotcha.
And we were talking about how we're clearly getting old because I play that game and I like the game, but it's just so fucking gross.
Really?
It's so nasty.
I love it.
No, okay, so
do they like? I know that it's like gotten extreme. Like this,
Yeah.
like the last time I watched somebody play, I don't know if it was the newest one or the one before that, but like when they can rip the spine out and all the blood, is everywhere.
that's how it goes. Here's the thing, though. I'm with you. When a new one comes out, I always look up the fatalities.
Yeah,
I check it out. I want to see.
Fatality.
Yeah, I want to see how gross it is.
Right.
Like, 'cause it's a novelty. But when you play it, you're doing it every couple of minutes. It wears on you.
Speaking of desensitizing.
Yeah, and I'm not desensitized. I'm just like, eventually I stop paying attention.
Right.
Like, I'll do the big move where the skull breaks and the jaw and they get shot in the face and all that stuff, and it's really bloody. And I don't look at it because I'm like, I don't want to see bones break in this person anymore. Like, I've seen it. You know what I mean? So I don't disagree with you. I also love it.
This murder's old hat.
But it's when you see it so many times, it becomes too much for me. I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to see that again.
I gotcha. Okay, I feel you.
And the fatalities are really gross. Like, someone's intestines come out of their face.
Out of their face?
Oh, yeah. Literally, one of the fatalities is he floats.
Did you, like, reach down in their
It's
throat?
with psychic powers, but yeah, he pulls the intestines out of their...
Oh, that's rad.
It sounds rad, right? It's cool. Then the 50th time you see it, you're like, I don't need to see
Especially
this anymore.
if it's a fatality that takes a little while to do, you're like, I have to wait for this to be over.
But yeah, and you get the bonus points for killing him, so like you want to do it,
Right.
but you don't want to see it, and that's...
They don't give you like the skip option.
No, they don't.
That should be something they do.
And
kind of like the skipping, like eventually Netflix is like, you don't want to watch this opening again, do you?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't, thank you.
Yeah. And so that's, for me, was a good sign that I'm getting older. Because when I was 13, I would watch that shit all day.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, ooh, it's so cool every time. And now I'm just like, I'm old. I don't need to see this anymore.
Nobody has time for this.
Like, it's just so nasty.
I have things I'm supposed to be doing.
So I'm thinking about getting the same company's other game that is about superheroes, and therefore is not bloody disgusting. Because it's the same thing, works the same way, it plays the same way. It's just not about people getting their heads torn off and thrown underneath
dismemberment.
Yeah, they don't tear anybody's whole head through their stomach. Another thing that really happens. They punch the head into
You gotta appreciate the creativity, but yeah, I can see it getting old.
Yeah, it's just, I will show you when we're done here. I can play 20 minutes and eventually be like, oh, I don't need to see this anymore. I'll do the same character. That's the difference. The new stuff, it's always something new, something different.
Right.
The same person, same thing every time. You're like, I don't need to see that.
I get you. I understand. Okay. I also am old for lots of reasons.
Yeah. And I was just like, this must be what our parents felt like when we were playing these. And they were like, it's so gross.
Oh my god. My mom from the beginning, she's so anti all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about rebel. And I say rebel because there is a hyphen in the middle.
Yes.
Because, you'll see.
Rebelling again, I guess.
Oh, you'll see.
I swear this is the exact same.
Oh, they're just doing the beginning. I need my re...
We'll do it live for the audience.
Well, that's the Spooky Child song.
Yeah. I guess I don't... That sounds like the exact same opening as the other one.
Oh, yeah.
As in, like the pacing of it. Ba, 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 ba. Like, I swear that the song right before it was him going ba, 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 ba.
Yeah. Let's just compare real quick.
Okay. Just slower.
Yeah.
It's not the same exactly. But
I
it's
see
so
what you're
dragging.
saying. Yeah. It's a slow march.
Right.
So the thing
like
I was...
dirge. All of these are dirges.
So the joke I was making when they were doing the children chorus intro, because that's the beginning of the song, is the actual lyrics, and you can tell us more if you'd like, but I remember specifically, this song is the one I remember the most, because it's got, as far as I know, one word in it, and it's rebel!
Just guttural screaming rebel.
Yeah, you gotta get that re in there. It's rebel.
Yeah, which I don't understand.
It's not rebel. It's not rebel. It's rebel.
Yeah, which is not how you say it.
I mean, you know,
but
have
the
fun.
hyphen makes it seem like bell is an action, and you can bell again.
Ah, yes. I'm
So
here to
you're
bell again.
Rebelling.
Hillary, tell me what it says so we can learn more about rebel.
Well, the part that we didn't hear, the rebel, his
Yes.
screaming thing, is your parents have failed you, and I'm here to tell you, rebel. The world has abused you, and I'm here to choose you. I did some research on this one, and it said that this was inspired by, I guess one of his friends was like a teacher or like dealt with kids a lot, and they had a kid that they were trying to help that came from a really bad home. And so this is like from the point of view of like a kid with like abusive parents or abusive family or like neglect and blah, 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 and find like kind of peace through Jesus or through Christianity or whatever. I don't know. I don't care for it.
Yeah. All right. You want to skip? Because that one sucks?
Yeah.
Let's do Home now. Here's my clip.
Okay. So slow.
Yeah.
All of these songs are so, it's like you have all this like wild music, like instruments happening in the background, and then the slowest, dirgiest lyrics. You want to hear what he said?
Absolutely.
My little boy, bow your head in shame. You've disgraced your father's name, and now it's time you choose. Your little toys won't save you from shot 10. I don't know what that means.
Little toys won't shave you from
Your
shot
little
10?
toys won't save you from shot 10. Without me, you will not win. No, I swear you'll lose.
This doesn't sound very uplifting, I have to say.
No, wisdom comes through suffering. Tell me why you'd let him give you a cheap name. It's time to come home. Playtime's over now. I don't get this.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means.
And then the chorus is him just screaming, it's my world, 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 it's my world.
Is that the actual number?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can't make heads or tails of that, so let's go with, I'm thinking it's a very angry song from the perspective of God.
Yeah, this is a vengeful God.
This
God
vengeful. And this is
that
actually
you have toys.
what we were talking about, or what I was saying, maybe it's a theme in here, that this sort of grungy rock and roll guy's perspective of God is, I would argue, a lot more honest than a lot of the Christian rock / music / media that we partake in.
Yeah, this is not a Jesus is love thing.
Yeah.
This is, he's been mad at you for a long time.
Yeah, he's super pissed.
Get your shit together. He's so angry.
He's gonna rip your legs off, Mortal Kombat style. Your intestines will leak out of your body.
Hope you don't feel attached to that spine.
Yeah, so, I mean, good for him embracing the truth of the matter, because honestly, I would probably respect it a lot more if people were just honest about, like, no, you're gonna get murdered.
Yeah.
Or
this God wants you to suffer.
yeah, or makes sort of is responsible for it in the first place, and your only real hope is not suffering, it's doing what he says, and hopefully getting a reward at the end.
Rewarded.
A reward! Yeah, so I don't know. Anything else you want to speak about for Home?
Well,
Come
the
home.
last lyrics are, come home please, 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 come home please. So now God is pathetically begging for...
Well, because he's so angry and vengeful. This...
But
okay,
also
so...
very polite about it.
So he doesn't do
please
this...
come home.
Please.
I
I do not think he does this on purpose.
Okay.
But this song is, if I'm right, and it's from the perspective of God, is
like
a song about an abusive relationship with a child, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we saw from Love and the Bad Man, which isn't out at this time, sorry, as we see from lots of stuff, in media or whatever, you've got, your angry dad figure, and he's always yelling at you and shouting at you, and he kicks you out of the house eventually. In fact, fun fact, my own dad did this to, not me, but one of my siblings.
Yeah.
Literally told him to get out. Brother left. He was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Bye. Never came back. But there was a period of time where my dad was like, no, I didn't mean it. Come back. Come home, please. Come home, please.
So maybe he had this experience with his father and he sees God as the same type of dude.
And again,
well, that makes sense. There's more lyrics here that actually fit that perspective. It says, after saying it's my world for too long, he says, son, it's my world. It's my world. It's not your world. I've tried peace. I've tried love. I've tried kind. I give up. You don't hear. You don't feel. Now I'm here and I'm real. I gave you my blessings. You failed from testings. I'll show you what death brings.
Jesus.
Now feel how my wrath stings. That's heavy as fuck.
Oh, that's metal. But yeah, so I just want to say that if this is going to continue being a theme, because we haven't heard, all of it.
This is song 5.
Yeah, of 11. I could appreciate Brian Welchhead for being honest.
Yep.
In a way that we don't always get.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Save Me From Myself, the titular track. You ready?
I am. More slow.
Yeah.
Slow.
Just drudging along.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that stands out for you for Save Me From Myself?
This one also deals with his drugs again. I just like people who are, like, aggressively honest about what it's like being in the throes of addiction.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
Yeah, and like a lot of these songs, or I think it might be safe to say all of these songs, it's very clear how much pain he's experienced. Probably before all of this went down, and then definitely during. And then I'm guessing he probably went through a lot of pain getting out of it too.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot of pain in his lyrics and a lot of pain in his voice, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and there was a lot of shit going on with the band he was in.
Yeah.
There was a lot of back and forth and bickering and fighting and insults, and that's got to be weird because he turned his whole and then there's the community, I'm sure, of Korn fans were not super keen on him at the time.
Yep.
Like, really? You're going to quit the band and go...
You're going straight edge.
Yeah, and like, those guys are lame because just let people do what they want.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it wasn't easy to deal with.
No, yeah, you're probably right.
So
he has a kid. At least
he's got
one.
a kid.
Yeah.
At least, yeah. He had a marriage, I think.
Yeah.
It didn't work before this, but
yeah,
it probably didn't make it.
I don't know much about it, but it's safe to assume.
Yeah. I don't think it survived regardless. I would assume it happened before, but it might have happened after. I don't know. This shit wasn't easy.
Yeah.
He totally changed his life.
Aside from, having an interesting life and like a rock star life for a while, it doesn't seem like he had anything going for him for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the sucky part.
That is the sucky part. But also, it's kind of like, well, that just makes redemption in whatever way you find it even sweeter.
Yeah. And this is another one of those things. Like, could we make fun of him for finding a religion that we don't necessarily think is true?
15-year-olds.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But like, why? Just, if it helped you, bro, go for it. We'd love it.
I support the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't like your music.
I wish you would stop singing.
But that's completely not related.
And if it's helping you, do as much of it as you can.
Because we have done, again, Christian music. I don't know, everyone hasn't heard everything.
Right.
We've done Christian albums that we liked. It's not as though it's a subject matter thing.
It's true.
It's just that we don't like this.
Right. And this is just the sound that we don't like. I honestly...
It's the corniness of it.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like his lyrics are really strong.
Oh yeah, I think someone could take it and make it interesting to hear.
Yeah.
It's just, he doesn't have the music that appeals to me.
Right. I don't know how much, like, experience he has with, like, music writing his own music by himself.
Because he's a guitarist.
Right. And I'm sure they all kind of, worked together on songs and collaborated. Right. But this might be his first real attempt. This is all me guessing. I have no idea.
Right.
But it definitely sounds like it's somebody who's an experienced musician, but who hasn't necessarily put an entire album together by himself before.
Right. He's not a producer.
Right. Or even, like, singer-songwriter type.
That's what it sounds like. You're right. That tracks.
Yeah.
Although, again, we don't know. Hey, if you dispute this, Mr. Brian Head, let us know.
Yeah. Write in. I would love to hear from you. I hope you're doing well.
All right, let's talk about Die, Religion, Die. And Hillary alluded to this one earlier, so let's get to it.
I give them love is what he was about to say.
Okay.
It's a weird place for it to cut out.
Yeah, I think they just do, like, not the first 30 seconds, but they do just 30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, that's the opening, so.
Yeah.
So if you couldn't hear the lyrics...
Because no one cared.
Right. What he just said was, I'm sick of all your rules, they're so man-made, you treat them all like fools, you put my name to shame, I'm everything you're not, I give them love, my ways you have forgot, you put yourselves above. And this song is about his views on organized religion or just church in general.
Right.
I actually have a quote from him because people, I think, were obviously...
You ever give shit about it?
Yeah. He says, it encourages people to get out of the whole Sunday Christian mentality and help them understand that God dwells in us, but not in a building. I can get behind that.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I'm down.
All of that prideful, controlling religion crap is what drives young people away from churches, and it has to go.
That's true.
Yeah. This doesn't feel like preachy or anything. It's just...
This whole album doesn't feel preachy.
Nothing about it feels preachy. It just feels like he just, like, bled out honesty, which I dig. I dig it. Don't want to listen to it like we keep saying. But, I can get behind all of this. It's like, one of the guy whose review of the book I read, he had a problem with this point of view, not just because of the whole, like, don't go to church thing. Mm-hmm. A lot of Christians that I've encountered have that mentality that, like, if church is not a part of your spirituality, then you're doing it wrong.
Right.
Or, like, it's not a healthy spirituality. It's surface, and not deeper, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I don't have these beliefs, so... In
Who
general,
am I? I don't know.
Like, what does my opinion matter? I don't give a fuck.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure the church is mentioned in the Bible as something you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But so is a lot of stuff.
Right.
So.
Don't eat figs.
Yeah, so, like, you're not gonna win the argument of, like, you're supposed to go to church if you're also in a church that X, Y, or Z's. You know what I mean? Like. Right.
And also all the bullshit that comes out about church. I mean, church is man. I don't know. I think it was pretty bold of him to put this on an album.
Like his first foray into...
Like, this album was originally called Die, Religion, Die.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they went away from that so people didn't think it was an anti-Christian.
Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, this is the guys... This is what we have to say. Okay? Because we haven't been overly negative, but we're negative about the music, because, again, we don't like it.
Right.
But we have to give the guy credit for, one, like you keep saying, he's very honest.
Yeah.
I think he's got a more honest understanding of the religion he's in.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah,
because
the reviewer guy did mention he's like he's a baby Christian. He's at this point, at the time he wrote his book, he had found God like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
so it's not like somebody who was raised up with it and like so he's very new to this.
But he's got like all the anger and the vengeance and the wrath and the
he has a point of view. It's a strong point of view,
and he's honest about it and. And nothing he's really said so far is something I disagree with.
Right.
Except for factually. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't agree that these things exist or these things are real things you have to worry about necessarily.
Right.
Except for, like, addiction, obviously. But if you're going to have a religion, I don't... This guy could... Yeah, go for it. If there's a whole sect of headism where people just adopt Head's version of... Christianity, I'm sure we'd get along quite well. We would not be making too many disparaging things about their beliefs, at least. Mm-hmm. Just maybe about the stuff they put out.
Yeah. can't not laugh.
It's just funny.
It's just funny.
Okay, so let's talk about next song, Adonai.
Let's talk about next song.
I'm a professional.
I know.
I get all the words.
You're very fun.
I got the words. I got the best words.
All right, Trump.
So that's Adonai.
Soldiers.
They always get off random. Okay, so that's Adonai.
Uh-huh. Do you know what the word Adonai is a reference to?
It is a name of God, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
It's one of them. There's supposed to be like...
That's something I meant to look up.
100 and something names of God.
It definitely sounded biblical.
Yeah. It's... Oh, I'm pretty sure Adonai is one of those substitute words that specifically a lot of devout Jews do. Instead of saying or writing God, because you're not supposed to, Adonai is acceptable to say or write instead.
Gotcha.
So it's literally a name for God, but like one of the more popular ones, which is why you've probably heard it.
Okay.
Because there's like 100 and something, and I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
It's fascinating.
I like L. I think it's funnier.
Just the letter?
E-L.
Oh.
L. Spanish for the.
It's also French for the.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
la. That's la.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's all. That just makes me laugh sometimes. So I think of L.
I worship la.
I'm la. You worship the? Yeah, I worship the.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in a certain sense, even makes sense for...
La.
For the entity that created everything.
Yeah.
The.
Makes sense to me.
What does that mean? The.
I think I figured out what's so annoying to me about his singing.
Mm-hmm.
He's not singing.
He's just
He's talk singing.
Oh, yeah.
All of these songs. It's not there's no real, like, melody.
Yeah, tell me the lyrics.
Understand!
Understand!
It's for the sake of every man that I must take this whole world back to make things right. I will attack. I came to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this God is vengeful. I will rise a generation up to be my soldiers. I will tie my heart to yours, put my head on your shoulders, make you escape from life with Adonai. Everything in life depends on Adonai.
Do you know that stupid meme? He protect, he attack?
Yes.
This makes me think. He protect, he attack, but most important, he come back.
Oh my god, yes.
Sorry. Oh, I'm having fun.
We're having fun.
We're doing fun stuff.
Natural disasters will keep coming, but don't worry. My people don't live in fear of death. That's how you should be.
That's not a good... Okay, sorry. That's not good lyrics.
No, that's not good
really
lyrics.
bad lyrics.
This is weak. I think
because
I was brushing my teeth during this one.
It's neither a full sentence nor a metaphor.
Right.
Because do the natural disaster line again.
Natural disasters will keep coming, but don't worry. My people don't live in fear of death. That's how you should be. That's how you should be. Not feared of death.
Like, that's how you should be. I genuinely don't think should fit in any song ever. That's not... That's not a lyric.
No.
Because songs are just poetry put to music. That's not...
This isn't poetry.
Well, I mean, but...
No, I mean, comparatively to the other ones.
Oh, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's just a sentence that he wanted to get out. And then it sort of ends in a very strange way because that's how you should be would not be a way you'd end that sentence anyway. So...
There's another song, too, where he says he does a lot of repetition.
Yeah, and I'm not
I came to fight... It ends with, I came to fight 8 times.
Yeah, there's a lot of 8 times lyrics in this album.
There are.
Yeah, he's got a thing with 8. Because it fills the verse. It feels the musical tempo. But yeah, that's not good lyrics at all.
Wow.
And it's fine. I mean, this song is not particularly worth.
Let's throw this song away and move on to the next one, Joshua.
All right, let's talk about money. Money. Ready?
Yeah. singing. Abrupt. So this one's pretty obvious.
I don't choose the samples.
This is just about, coveting
Cash.
physical things, money, objects,
honeys,
cars, I'm guessing, those kind of things.
Miles Peterson had everything. Okay, let's talk about money.
Okay.
We're worshiping stuff.
Yeah, that opening lyric was, look at yourself, you can't even get to sleep. Boy, you love your wealth, you bow down to your money. You've got what you want, but it won't get you far. Was it what you thought? You forgot you are. Wait. Was it what you thought? You forgot who you are. Your wife has left you. Hey, there we go. That answers that question.
We don't know if it's autobiographical, but probably.
It definitely is. And you don't see your kids. And you don't see your kid.
Oh, that's autobiographical. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going back the other way.
Now get on your knees. You know who your God is. With a lot of exclamation points.
Huh.
Which I guess just means screaming.
Right. Okay, so, yeah, if there's any song on here, and there's plenty, but if there's one that's specifically autobiographical, I'm going to go with this one.
I'm going to go with that too.
Because it's a little too specific.
Right.
Your wife left you, you don't see your kid rather than kids, because I think, if you're doing generic, you'd say kids.
Between this one and the drug one, this is his, issue with his family, and,
I mean, again, good for him. Apparently, if anything, this sounds like the impetus for why he converted in the first place.
These were all the things that were going wrong in his life.
These are all the shitty things.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of money.
Yeah.
He had the cars and the money.
Sweet corn money.
Sweet corn money. Buy all the corn.
Sweet corn.
White corn.
Yum.
What other corns are there? Do they make blue corn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maize corns. Okay,
Maize.
sorry. But, I mean, that's cool, like you said. It's good that he's super honest about how shitty everything was for him.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that he's doing better.
This is how I fucked up.
I hope he's doing much better. It seems like he is.
Too.
He went back to Korn. So, presumably that's a good sign. Because he was in a place where he could.
Yeah, in a place where he could, but also that, that issue was resolved. Those relationships were healed at least enough for him to get back in the band.
Right.
Right.
Because I would hope, I would think and I would hope that even if he was having a really rough time in it, when he left it, he got out of it, right?
Right.
And you'd only go back if you're very, very sure that you're not going to fall back into...
Right. If you feel really strong about your position and you're healthy and
you're not going to fall...
You have a support system, you probably have some sponsor and...
Right. It's like going into a bar when you're an alcoholic. You don't drink anymore, but you can go to bars.
It's a good
You're
sign.
doing great.
Yeah, it's a great sign if you can be around the problem.
Without
being,
because a lot of people are like, is there drinking at that party? I'm not going.
Right. I can't imagine going back into a rock band where I was that fucked up all the time, without relapsing. I can't imagine it.
Yeah, but I'm glad.
Good on him.
Good on him. Presumably he's not doing that. Mr. Headwelch, you let us know.
Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about Shake. I'm gonna go with Shake It, Baby. That's this song, right?
Yeah,
that song freaks me.
It's actually Shake It Off.
Ah, okay. So, fun fact, I wasn't listening to, the Jackson 5 was on.
Yeah.
And it was that song, ABC 1, 2, 3. And at the end, it's Shake It, Baby. And it just means very different things now. Even baby Michael Jackson saying, Shake it, baby. I'm like, I don't like it.
It came on,
talking about babies.
The one about, the love you save. Stop the love you save, baby, your own.
Oh, yeah.
That is a problematic song.
I don't know it very well.
I'm listening to it, this is about, slut-shaming a child. Well, I don't know if but when Michael's singing and he's 8 years old, and any girl he's talking about, I'm assuming it's a girl his own age. Unless, the lyrics...
What's the second part of that? Stop the love you save.
Don't take it slow, or someday you'll be all alone.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Somebody said he kissed you beneath the apple tree. Something about, it's basically listening to all the guys who claim that they've had time with her.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah.
And then telling her, to, save your love.
You know what song is way better than that but has the same sort of...
I fucking love that song, though, by the way. I love it. You
know what song is less slut-shaming than that, but still has the same subject matter?
What?
We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off to Have a Good Time by Jermaine Clement, the best song of 1991. Jermaine. Not Jermaine Jackson, Jermaine Clement. We don't
Clement is
have to take our clothes off to have a good
I
time.
know that song.
Uh-huh.
I
We
thought
could dance and party.
is it not Jermaine Dupri?
No, Jermaine Dupri is the, like, rapper.
Oh, Jermaine Clement is from Fly the Conchords.
Do they have the same name?
I have to look this up.
All night. See, that's the thing. He wasn't saying, like, if you take your clothes off, you're just going to be alone all your life. He's just saying, hey, baby, we don't have to. We can drink some cherry wine. Uh-huh. We can dance and party. All night.
Jermaine Stewart.
Jermaine Stewart. Stupid Stewart.
What a day we're having.
Stupid me.
Oh man, now I kind of want to watch Davy and Goliath.
Oh, stupid Davy. All right.
Bad dog.
But do we have anything else we want to talk about? Money?
No.
All right, let's move on to Shake. Oh, we were just doing Shake. That's how we got our stupid conversation.
I'm so tired. Did we say anything about Shake?
No, we haven't started yet.
Okay, that was fun. This is another weak one.
Yeah. I will say, that little bit we just said had something slightly interesting happening with the music, at least.
Yeah.
The piano, that they added. So that he added. I don't know how many people there were, but good job.
Cool.
But I don't know. Are the lyrics interesting in any way?
No.
Okay.
Let me read them to you so you can decide whether you think they're interesting. Forget all the rules, forget everything. You took my name out of schools, I take back my blessings. How can I bless the things I don't believe in? Is it right? Remember whose planet it is, mine.
Yeah, this is just back to the same vengeful God thing.
Also God should not be in schools.
Yeah, strong disagree. Finally, he said something we can disagree with.
Yeah.
No, don't get your gun out of schools, but we are not enforcing this from the top down.
You can bring God to school and yourself.
Yeah.
But don't shove it down on everybody else.
Exactly. That's our position, and it's very, very clear.
Right.
If you want to be religious...
This is what we think. Yeah.
If you want to be religious, you can be religious in school, but you can be any religion in school.
Yeah.
And if your teacher, or your principal, or your administration in any way gives you lip for it, burn the school down. Don't
Definitely.
do that. Do it.
That's actually the only thing you should do.
But truly, our position is you can be whatever religion you want, just keep it out of an authority figure's hands.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
To wield as a
agree with
bludgeon.
that.
But that's all. It's just the same. Like I said, it's interesting that he's got
There are Christian schools. Go to those.
Yeah, if you really want to.
Yeah.
It is interesting that he got a very raw opinion of this God concept that he has. This very angry, very vengeful, very upset God.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, how many times can we talk about it?
And
apparently 11.
There's a chance 11. That's the exact number. There's a chance that this is a little bit of projection from him.
Yeah.
I think he's a very angry person, and so his idea of God is going to be a reflection of him.
Yeah, I mean, that's true of everyone, though.
Yeah.
I'm
just saying.
A great thing I heard once is almost nobody worships a God that disagrees with them. Weird. Weird coincidence.
That's a great point.
Just happens to be that every God that someone worships happens to agree with them on everything.
Yeah. And that's why people feel so confident talking for God. Like, God feels this. God thinks this.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's you. You think that. You feel that. Yeah.
Like, find the person who is like, well, actually, I disagree with God about this, but
he is God.
They will be a very unusual person.
Right.
Because
God said he hates gay people, and I don't necessarily think I should, but
I guess he makes me.
Have to.
Yeah, so that's my point. Well, we only have a few more minutes to go.
Cool.
Let's talk about Washed by Blood.
Okay. I'll be reading the lyrics.
Yeah, you'll do the lyrics for us, because that's all music.
Okay.
This is a 9.5-minute long song.
I am not positive I listened to the whole thing. But it starts out, I know you've tried to satisfy your appetite for too long. You wonder why you are alive. You've lived a life for too long. So now you're done. Life isn't fun anymore. What's this life for?
What's the answer?
The next line is, these are not only words to a song. Come to me. You've forgiven now. Meta.
Okay.
You're washed by blood from deep inside. Ooh. You're not a prisoner of your old life. Washed by blood, a brand new start. It's time that I rebuild your heart. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And, morbid.
Yeah.
I like
okay.
it. But
so
this is all because he in an interview, he said that when talking to one of his Christian friends, he said, isn't it cool that we were literally, we were saved by blood? Or something like that? Or
metal.
Right? Or I think he literally said washed by blood.
Yeah.
Like, it was his death and the blood that he shed that saved, humanity or whatever. It is a fucking metal.
If you go to a Guar show, you can get washed by blood, too.
Yeah. Or, yeah. You can remake Carrie.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry. So, this one is at least a little bit different from his regular subject matter, because it's about forgiveness and how washed you were by Jesus' blood and all that. Mm-hmm. So that's
sticky,
good.
Man. Like it's sticky when it dries.
It's not quite as angry, quite as vengeful, quite as upsetting for the regular pop Jesus that we get.
Yep.
It's still got that hard edge, that, Brian Head thing going on.
Yeah.
But
I like that he ends on a high note.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Positive.
This is a
the
way
last lyric, or the last lines are, come fly away with me and come fly away with me and come fly away with me. You know I love you. Come fly with me, love, 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 love.
Love, love, love,
That's the opposite of what all the other songs felt like.
It's true.
You
know what?
Hate.
Love might be that, so he bookended it with good things.
So the first song is love, and the last song ends with love. Mm-hmm. Well done, Mr. Head.
It's hard to say that that's not on purpose.
It's definitely on purpose.
Definitely on purpose. And the two songs that are the most positive are on each side of the album. So he clearly did it on purpose.
He didn't want people to end this album wanting to kill themselves.
Right, because that's all the middle parts.
Right.
So what we can learn,
redemption.
Let's extrapolate from what Brian Headwelch's religious beliefs are.
Okay.
Just from what we have in this album only, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go with, there's definitely a love element. Go to Jesus. He'll forgive you. You'll feel great. Right. Everything will be better. But the core of this God is still very upset with you.
He's so mad. He's been mad at you for a long time, too.
Right. So the center part, the nougaty center of Jesus is pure rage. It's a white hot fire. And it is directed at your entire soul. But the good news is, outside of that little nougaty center.
Blood for your soul.
I think the white hot rage might be made of blood.
I think the white hot rage is definitely nougat. No one likes nougat.
But on the outside, it's just it's in a blood sausage.
Yeah.
And
God. Nougat-filled blood sausage.
You take the blood sausage and you wipe it all over, and you'll feel better.
Sweet and savory tubular meat.
Yes. And then, maybe the next album, and we're never going to find out, is mostly happiness on the center, with anger on the outsides.
Does he have another album?
He's got at least two, yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew he had more than one book, but...
And he's got at least 2 Christian albums.
It'd be hilarious if they slowly got, happier and poppier.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well, I'm slightly curious now.
Yeah.
But again, I don't disagree with him. I actually think that his impression of God is relatively accurate if you actually read the book. Yeah. That's supposed to be the words of the thing.
Especially the Old Testament.
But not the new.
not the new.
Right. So yes, that's nice, and we're done with the album. And is there any final words you want to say?
No.
Yeah. Sounds about right. It was fine. It was
for him.
Not my music, but It was, you could claim it's interesting. I wouldn't dispute you. You're like, yeah, that's fine. It's just not the music I want to hear. You know?
Yeah.
You know who else makes interesting music? Bob Dylan.
I don't have a horse in this race, so.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah. I really loathe Bob Dylan's actual music, but I like the way he writes songs.
Yeah.
And a thing I've said once before, and it's somewhat hyperbolic, but not entirely. Every cover of a Bob Dylan song is better than the Bob Dylan song. That's because I don't think he's a great musician.
Well, he wasn't.
Is he dead?
No.
Okay.
Damn close to it, though, because I saw him live like 10 years ago, and he was barely
holding on.
He couldn't even play guitar anymore. He had to play the piano because his arthritis was too bad.
I see. All right, so let's talk about the best and worst of this album, Save Me From Myself.
Okay.
What's the best? What's the worst?
Best is his brutal honesty. Brutal meaning just graphic.
Right, not necessarily the brutality.
Right.
But that too.
He has violent honesty, which I appreciate always, and a lot of self-reflection. And I just really appreciate people working through shit openly.
Yeah. What's the worst?
Worst would be listening to it.
Okay. And I'm going to do a similar best and worst to you. It's not quite the brutal honesty that gets it for me. I think that this is an interesting development in Christian music.
Oh, yeah.
Because
totally.
the thing that's most annoying about Christian music, and religious music generally, is that it's all very samey.
At least the stuff we've been exposed to.
At least the stuff we've been exposed to.
Right.
And I've tried to do a relatively, some range of it.
Yeah. It's pretty, what's the word? Saccharine?
Yeah. And every time you get someone like this or someone like a Lecrae who actually makes music that, if not is good, is interesting, there's always pushback. Hard pushback from people who think that there are people who think that Christian rock, that the generic poppy newsboy bullshit is too far. It's just supposed to be hymnal stuff.
Right.
Like, if you really think that you're gonna bring anybody to like this because it's a hymn, you're fucking crazy.
It's like the Catholic Church trying to go modern. Like, that's one of my favorite parts about Dogma is the idea of the Catholic Church trying to embrace modernity.
Yeah.
Buddy Christ.
Yeah, you're not gonna... Presumably you're making music for some sort of outreach.
Yeah. Or
Or yourself, it's a personal project, but still, you're releasing it for outreach.
Right.
You're not going to get that with another version of Amazing Grace. I like Amazing Grace. I don't need to hear any more of it.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Aretha Franklin movie?
No.
It's not a biopic. It's literally just like it's a concert she put on in a church somewhere. Like that was footage that was found, and the trailer is basically just her doing the opening to Amazing Grace, and I cried. Like, I watched the trailer, I'm like, well, this is going to be effective. Yeah.
But yeah, so, no, those people are crazy. And that's the thing. This, as far as I'm aware, and I'm not the expert on Christian rock, it's gotta be one of the few, like, new metal, hardcore Jesus albums.
Yeah.
There can't be that many of them.
I mean, I've definitely heard of, like, heavy metal bands that exist that are Christian.
Yeah.
But
also, are they Christian, or are they making Christian music?
Making Christian music.
Okay.
But at the same time, with heavy metal, how would you know that it's Christian music? It's just screaming. It's like this one, we had to look up I could understand some of his lyrics, but not all of them.
Right.
And for the record, I don't necessarily think that only lyrics that you can understand are good music, because I like a lot of bands that I'm like, I'm not sure what they're saying, but man, I love this bop.
I like metal, and I don't understand half of it, minimum. So I just wanted to say, I think the best thing about this is it could have been, if it's not a development in making Christian music palatable for people who aren't already into it.
Totally. I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good one.
And the worst is, I don't want to hear it though. Yeah. I just don't like this.
Samesies.
I'm not against it, I just don't care for it.
Right. It's not my bag, but it doesn't mean it's not someone else's.
Right. So let's talk about some things that are like this. Do you have anything like this that might be relevant, interesting?
I think we actually topped the show with it. Listen to System of a Down.
Yeah.
Listen to Tool, man.
You know who else I really liked?
Who?
Evanescence.
I know you did. We've talked about this.
Loved it.
I did not like Evanescence.
Loved it.
I think she had a beautiful voice, but I didn't really like their music.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to, but apparently
Thank you for not saying I have to.
They considered at least their first album a Christian music album.
This is why it got brought up. You told me that. I didn't know that before you told me.
And the first album was released, I think, in Christian stores.
Yeah.
Until somebody in the band said something derogatory about someone, Jesus or God or something, in an interview.
Right.
And they got more or less boycotted by religious folks.
Gotcha.
But
interesting.
Yeah, and that's the story from what I heard like 15 years ago, so I could be off in some way.
Right.
But that's more or less accurate of... Yeah, so that's fun. So listen to fucking Evanescence.
Yeah, listen to fucking System of a Down. They're fun.
Fun, good, great.
Fun, good, relevant. Maybe dig into some punk music if you've never really listened to it before.
Man, I want to hear some Christian punk.
There's definitely Christian punk.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's probably more poppy punk, but
yeah.
Anyway, also I want to throw out there, this is a recommendation because it was a recommendation to me, but since this guy put out an autobiography at the same time this album came out, I'm about to be reading the Marilyn Manson autobiography. Read along with me, kids.
Do it.
Apparently it is fucking bonkers.
Okay. You'll tell me about it.
I will. I have 2 books to finish before it, but that's fine.
That's fine. I'm never going to think about it after this. So
no,
when you tell me about it, it'll be new.
When you're editing this recording, you'll remember.
That's true. And once, as always, we have to talk about what we're going to do next week.
Okay.
So Hillary, tell me what we're doing next week.
Well, it appears, Josh, that we are doing something called Loving the Bad Man.
And
I don't...
So you remember how I have implied that there is a movie that will absolutely infuriate you?
Oh, fuck you. What? No. Is this that movie?
This is that movie.
Why?
I believe.
Okay.
This is the very bottom of the barrel.
Okay. What is it about? Just give me a hint as to what would make it so. What would make that so?
Stephen Baldwin's in it.
Oh, sweet.
And...
Is it modern?
It's like early 2000s.
Okay. Not the kind of modern I was hoping for.
Yeah, very low quality. I don't want to tell you because I want you to experience it in real time.
Okay, it's
But
fine.
I can guarantee...
What if it ends up being my favorite movie of all time? What if it does, though?
No.
I don't want to disappoint you like that.
I will not believe you.
Okay.
You can come in here next week and say, this is my favorite movie I've ever seen, and I will not believe you.
I bought it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, no, I won't believe you.
Okay.
I do want to warn you to watch it when you're in a decent headspace.
Well, that might not be able... That might...
Just, like, decent relative to your week.
Oh, it's been a month, man. I don't know how long this thing's gonna go, but I will do my best.
Because this would come with a heavy content warning.
Okay. Gotcha. Trigger warning, you mean?
Yes.
Gotcha. There's no such thing as a real trigger warning for me.
That's fine. I just want you to know.
It's just a space I live in sometimes.
You're going to be very upset about this movie.
I can't wait.
Okay?
Yeah.
While you're watching it and after.
Maybe it'll be actually cathartic for me to wallow.
Maybe.
In despair.
But yeah, there's, I don't want you to know anything about it.
Okay. That's fine. I accept that.
I can't stop you from looking it up.
I trust you. I'm not going to look it up. Are you kidding me?
So remember, if you like the show, please consider giving us a 5-star review on whatever podcast app or service you are using, and tell your friends and your foes and your friends and your foes all about us.
Yeah.
That's right. Do it twice. That's why I said it twice. It wasn't an accident.
Do it 8 times. Be like Head.
Yeah, tell your friends and your foes and your friends and your foes and your friends and your foes and your friends and your friends. Okay.
Well, now I'm going to.
Links to everything are in the description of this episode. That includes a website at which you can send us email. Brian Head, when you want to talk to us about this entire thing, you can reach us there.
Totally.
So that we can have the Welch Head mailbag segment.
Hetty McWelch.
Hetty McWelchson. But if there's nothing else, do you have anything else?
I don't.
Well, thank you so much for listening.
Thanks, guys.
We love ya.
Love you lots.
Bye.
Bye.